Go ahead, Vijay.
Uh, okay, fine. So let me start off with this. Thanks everyone for joining. Welcome to 21st Annual International Software Testing Conference 2021. So this is Vijay Balan, and this is going to be my white paper topic, which is complete regression for Hyperion application. And as I mentioned, I'm Vijay Balan. I'm the primary author, and Rafiq Sheikh, who is the co-author. Unfortunately, he is not there for the presentation today. Yeah. So just to brief me about myself, I'm Vijay Balan from Capgemini, and I have been working with Capgemini for almost 7 years now. And out of 7 years, 4 years I was into ETL testing, and 3 years into Hyperion application testing. And this particular white paper is around the Hyperion regression automation testing, the methodology, how it got evolved, and that is what has come up as a white paper from our end now. So let me go through the slideshow. Think simple. So I just want to give a rhythm or a flavor to our white paper. So what we did is for Hyperion regression application testing, we came up with a simple thinking process, thought process, and then we just converted that thought process into an automation tool or a delivery framework. That's what we did. So everything came up with simple thinking, and as and when I go through the tool, you will come to know the tool will be very simple, and it will be very efficient enough to do the complete regression for Hyperion application. So let me get into the introduction of why we came up with the Hyperion automation testing. Okay, so what happened? Hyperion application in turn has multiple sub application or sub modules. Say, for example, in our project, what we are doing now is Hyperion application has HFM, PR, and IP. HFM is nothing but Hyperion Financial Management, PR performance reporting, and IP is nothing but planning and budgeting. So to do the testing for all these three application in one shot, we are into agile world now, and our sprint run for a span of 2 weeks. So we have to complete the development and do a full set of regression testing within that 2 week of time. So having said that, we have three applications, and doing the regression testing for all the three applications is going to be a nightmare for any tester because it is a multi-dimensional database, and to have data verified at each and every combination is going to be a nightmare. So what we decided was, so what we were doing manually is that we used to pick up a certain combination of data randomly, and then we will be creating a test template which as part of the test design, and then we take those templates into the test execution phase, and then we'll run it manually. So that's what we were doing. And what happened eventually, we picked up random test templates, random set of data. So what happened, there are chances, and it happened when it goes to production, the data validation got failed, and so that was coming like a bug from a production bug, or coming as an incident to us to fix it. So whenever we do any regression testing, we do it manually, and there are flaws in the other end which we will not be knowing it because we picked up random test set element. So that's where the huge volume of data check was one of the issue, to do a data check for all set of combination. And obviously that is going to be a time consuming one, and manual error. Since we do it manually, even a small typo on the template, when we execute it, open the template, a small typo was creating, was contributing directly to the defect leakage. So that's why we just want to call it as a manual error. And tester dependency. This is an interesting piece. So what happened when we do it manually? A subject matter expert testing guy has to be there to prepare the template, to prepare the test data, to do a data validation, and do further analysis just in case if any mismatch happened between the validation. So that is the tested dependency. So we want to overcome all these hiccups, the four main points: the huge volume of data checks, time consuming manual and untested dependency. So what we did is, what best solution we can go for. So that's where the entire thought process came in. So what we decided, we will get into the market and see any tool available ready-made for us to accomplish this regression testing. So we were searching for that. We didn't get anything out of it. We didn't get anything out of it. So there is no other option. We have to prepare our own utility or a methodology. That's where we came up preparing an Excel-based macro tool. Why Excel-based macro is that it is easy to maintain and enhancement to be made simple. Say, for example, now we have now as part of our regression testing, we almost have 6 to 7 regression modules which are getting executed as part of our Excel macro-based tool. In future, and even in future, right now also we are doing some enhancement to the tool, and it is going to be very simple. It is going to be the same set of code with little amount of modification on the macro. So that's the main reason we want to go with macro. And what is the solution? A solution is as simple as that. We are going to have a Hyperion test macro is an automated solution that validates HFM, IP, and PR application and provides the summary of the test statistics. So that's the solution. And since we are doing it automatically, we will be in a position to identify the defects much earlier, which we were not able to do at all when we are doing the manual testing. As I mentioned, the sprint runs for 2 weeks of time, and testing starts from the fourth of a day. And there are chances when we will be identifying the defect, it will be on the 10th day. So there are chances it will get moved to the next sprint. So the acceptance criteria won't met at any time. But with this automation tool, what we will do is, like, even on the day one or day two, the entire since the time taken to finish the testing is lesser phase. So what is happening is, we will complete the testing much early. Obviously, that will contribute in identifying the defects much early. Okay, now the next slide, what I'm going to show you is that the look and feel of the tool, and then I'll explain you the element in the tool. So this is what the Hyperion Test Macro dashboard is, the main tool. That's how the tool, the Hyperion Test Macro tool looks like. So I'll just take you through the each and every element of this particular tool. This reset data, what I have it here is that, so say for example, you have filled in all the parameters, just in case you want to start a new execution, this reset data will clear off all the content from the tool. And this application, right? This application is something like, what it will do is, um, so this is a screenshot, so I'm not able to show you the drop down. So, but I'll tell you what is the content of this application. Application, basically, it will show you whether you want to select HFM application, PR application, or IP application. Also, the environment. So how it looks like, the parameter something like HFM T1, PR T1, HFM T2, PR T2. So T1 and T2 is nothing but the environment. T1 is the test environment 1, T2 is the test environment 2, something like that. So we have to select the application. So say for example, if I'm selecting HFM T1, and so this sheet name is nothing but what template you are going to select. Okay. Very important thing for this Hyperion Test Macro dashboard is that we have to perform a one-time activity. On that one-time activity, what we are going to do is, we have to prepare the test template as part of a test design. The test template will have different combination of data, so that as much as, or the complete data combination for the entire application, that is for the three submodules HFM, IP, and PR, all those different combination of data has to be prepared, has to be saved in an Excel. So that will be the input, or that will be fed as the input for this tool. Okay, so say for example, what we will do is, during a sprint, we will be preparing this template and uh, keep it in the shared drive or on the local system, wherever you want. So what we have to do is, just select the application, and select the sheet name pre, and go to the path where you have saved it, and just select the template which you have to do, which has to be fed as the input. And this particular fetch pre and post data is one of the test scenario. So what it will do is like when I select the sheet name as pre, and when I click on fetch pre and post data, what it will do is it will fetch the pre values, whatever data right now what the system contains, that will be fetched, and then it will be saved somewhere in the shared location as the pre data. Okay, then what we will do, we will migrate the code. So after the changes, we will be we will be selecting here the post, sheet name as post, and then we will be fetching the post data. So now pre and post data would have got fetched. So pre is nothing but before the code change, post is nothing but after the code change. And by clicking on this button pre and post, what it will do, it will get into the uh, workbook which got generated with the timestamp. Like this, it will be something like this, file name with the timestamp. So what we'll do is it will open the file that got generated with the pre and post values, and then it will do a data validation between the pre and post values, and then it will show you whether that particular set of data combination has a proper data. Uh, I mean, data is validated or not. So that's what this tool does. So same functionality works well with the other different set of test scenarios. So the next test scenario would be CFA validation, and other one would be LNI validation. Similarly, HFM versus PR recon, IP versus PR recon. So for CFA and LNI, what parameter we use to pass is the year and the month. So it will be 2021 and the Jan month, which we will be feeder as the input to that tool. So on clicking on this LNI validation, it will pick up the template. You have to select the template here first, and just click on this button. By passing the parameter, this tool will automatically get connected to the DB, and then this parameter will be passed to those templates, and data will be fetched, and then the validation would have happened. And then here is the result summary, where you will see what sheet you have selected and what is the status of it, whether it is passed or failed. It is as simple as that. Yeah, we'll. I mean, just in case if you have any questions on this, we'll get into the Q&A session, and then I'll. I mean, I'm happy to answer that. And yeah, so this simple design show. So this is the overall architecture of this particular tool. What the user do is he will get into the tool, Hyperion automation tool. He will select the template. The template is nothing but the input parameter for input feed for the tool. And by clicking on the execute, that is by clicking on the button, every validation will happen on the background, and the output file will get generated. And the summary of the output file will be displayed on the result summary. So that's the Hyperion test macro dashboard is all about. It's a simple, straightforward tool. As I just want to, as I'm just want to reiterate or re-emphasize on the point is that we have to spend some time on preparing the templates as part of the test design phase, and that is going to be a one-time task. Once that is done, you do this particular testing at any point in time by using the tool. By clicking of a button, it will all the things will happen in the background and then show you the output and the result, and the summary of the statistics. The result statistics will be shown here. Yeah, so this is the test harness dashboard is another tool what we have prepared. The concept and the methodology works in the same way, but the difference between those templates and the test harness is that test harness is basically we will be preparing the test templates. This is again that nothing but the test templates, but this test harness is nothing but it will have the content of it will have the content of um, the accounts which has been derived using certain formulas. So wherever there is a change in the code, those accounts or those dimensions will get picked up into this test harness. The This is the template which we prepare as part of Hyperion test macro dashboard is going to be a one-time activity, but this test harness is something like as and when there is a change in the code, you have to get into the template, you have to modify the test harness so that the template will be intact, so it will have the latest changes. So that's the intention of this test harness dashboard. And yeah, as you could see here, is it's the reset data is nothing but the same resetting all the parameter what we have selected, and select application is going to be the application as well as the environment, and path is same like where you have saved the template. And here it is going to be the which year and which month you want to run the test harness. So so this is what this particular tool is all about. Once you click on the once you select the year and period, and when once you click on the execute sheet, any number of test runners you put it on the shared location, each will get picked up automatically in the background. It will get connected to the DB. It will get refreshed, and the result of it will be showed whether it is execution status is completed or not. Just in case if a test harness has a error in the sense like it can be a code issue, it can be a defect, or it can be a network issue, or the file missing. Everything, all the message will get displayed here. So that's the intention of this error message here. Yep. So that's the test harness dashboard is all about. So the Hyperion test macro dashboard and the test harness dashboard work in the same way. The only difference is that um, uh, this test harness template has to be updated frequently as and when there is a change in the code. And this will be my final slide. So here, what I have here is the benefits. Okay, as I was discussing on this demo, so the quantitative benefits I just jotted down here. One is the reduction in execution time. Statistically, what happened is we were doing the execution. So actually, what happened for the regression testing, we were having almost 25 manual templates, which we were spending time for almost 6 to 7 days. By using this tool, it was exactly taking 1.5 days to complete the testing with the proper quality, without a zero defect leakage. That's the main quantitative benefit what we have achieved: reduction in execution time, and obviously that is going to contribute to increase in the revenues. Reduction in resource dependency. This is what I was mentioning, the tested dependency. So any person with the minimal knowledge of, so we have already prepared a user manual for this. Any resource who is working on the application can just get into the user manual and see how the tool works, and then anyone can execute it. So finally, you will get the statistics of how many test cases has got failed and how many got passed. So obviously, if there is a failure in the test case, you need to have your analysis skill to see why the data got failed. Okay, this obviously it is going to contribute to increased efficiency in the root cause analysis process and increase in number of test cycle. As I mentioned, the test cycle of 7 days has got reduced to 1.5 days. If you want to do additional test cycle after the defect fix, we can incorporate that at any time. And these are the qualitative benefits: improved customer satisfaction, identifying defect at the earliest, reduce the load on developer for root cause analysis. And this tool can be very well used by the development team, or the UAT team, or the operations team, anyone. So these are the qualitative benefits. I just want to jot it down here. So conclusion, so these three things I just read it through. Project teams needs to explore innovative ways to provide more value and higher productivity while reducing the overall cost for the client. So that's where I just want to conclude it. Utility can be a fundamental stepping stone to reach such goals, where time is crucial, quality of content can not be promised, and investment in traditional next-gen automation tool is of high cost. So two things: one is quality cannot be compromised, and the second one is investment in the traditional next-gen automation tool is of high cost. So that's why we came up with the simple thinking, simple tool, a macro-based tool, which is cost-effective, and also it is directly contributing to the quality. Yeah. Hyperion Test Macro tool has been forecasted to overcome all the hardships that the Hyperion application testing team encounters. So this tool actually, to be frank, for the last 6 months or 1 year, it is making a life simple by doing the complete application regression testing for Hyperion in a smoothful manner, identifying the defect at the earliest, and making our life as simple as anything with automation stuff. So thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your understanding. So open to you, open to the forum for any questions. Happy to answer if I get any questions. And my technical author, Rafiq, is on leave today. Just in case, if there is a technical question which I'm not able to answer it, I'm happy to take it further, and then I'll revert back to you. Thanks for your time. Open to Q&A.